bring into the parks, but I didn't think I'd want it, and that's this fruit.
Bring snacks and stuff like that because you just kind of want to like grab it as you go.
Esther, how much are you spending?
$72.72.
How much are you spending?
$0.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at wasted money spent on the weekends. We all like to go out, have a little fun, but how much is too much? And today we're going to focus on Disneyland and how much people are spending going to Disneyland over a weekend or for a vacation. And the worst part of all this, most of them put it on a credit card.
I just got back from Disney and I'm looking at the damage, $3,476. Ouch! Let's pay off the credit card today. Out of that big chunk of money, $2,795 of it was my 5 nights in the hotel and my 3 park tickets, which is just... God, dude. And then the remainder, $681.45, was how much I spent on food, face paint, random miscellaneous stuff like gas. To be honest, I'm actually proud of that. I think I did really good there. So I paid for the hotel and the tickets already, so all I owe is $681.45 on my credit card. So, dude, you guys know I'm trying to get a house. I don't want any debt in my name. Paying off my credit card weekly is very beneficial for me. I have done this for years. I just use my credit card every day, like I would my debit card, and then on Sunday, instead of being a buffoon and letting that debt roll over into the next week, I just pay it off on Sundays, and it really works for me.
This is an interesting one. I like the idea that he pays it off and he paid for the hotels and all that other stuff on his own. He still spent a boatload. Didn't he say he's trying to buy a house? Probably the best thing you don't do is spend money on stuff that has no return of value. So it is cool he pays it off. I'm not a fan of the paying it off weekly if you're trying to build credit, but I do understand getting it paid off so there's zero interest is an amazing way to go. And being somebody that lives out here, this is exactly how I do my process. I spend my money through the months, and every 27, 28 day, I will use my debit card and just pay off the credit card every month, right? And this allows me to build credit because I leave my balance at like 3 to 5% of the total card at any given moment, right? So this isn't bad, but again, if you're trying to buy a house, I don't think the best move is to just go take a bunch of Disney trips, especially when it costs you $2,400 for a couple tickets. That's ridiculous. But I am curious though. He said that he spent $681 or something like that on food and random stuff. That seems like a lot for a weekend. Let's look at a video that goes over some of the costs of the actual food that you buy at one of these Disneylands.
Am I insane? Disney, we gotta have a conversation. I am currently staying right there at the tower at Coronado Springs. And I just need to know why I can't get a single breakfast item for less than double digits. Like that, I don't know. I'm a Disney cruiser. I'm going on a Disney cruise in August. I love Disney to the core. I really do. And I've never been the type to feel that I need to grocery shop or like bring snacks and stuff like that because you just kind of want to like grab it as you go. But we are officially reaching an absurd level of price on certain items. I got breakfast tacos this morning and they were about as okay can get. And it was $13.50 for 2 tacos and 2 hash browns. That probably should have cost $7, $8. A stack of pancakes with strawberry compote is $14. Without the strawberry, it's $12.50. Like, this is insane. We have to figure this out. Not to mention the latest quirk on quick service soda is the RFID now only works for 2 hours. So if you order a soda, you can only drink soda for 2 hours, which do I think it should be an all you can drink the whole time with the same cup thing? No. But I mean, if you're pricing it at like $3.30 for a fountain drink, let me get 4 hours. Let me get the day. Like, I mean, I would say, yeah, give me until the end of the day. But if it was like 99 cents and you put me on a 2 hour thing, like, okay. But the prices that we're charging for things and then putting them on a time limit is crazy. Like, it's just crazy. Not to mention breakfast. I remember you could get like a bounty platter, which was the waffle.
I think we've heard enough. What is going on? I saw the menu at the beginning. That's where I was immediately confused. Is where it costs $5 to add a side. So if you get the Western omelet, you want to have hash browns, a sausage, some kind of scrambled eggs or bacon, $5 for eggs? What is going on? The idea of this stuff is nuts though. His tacos were like that big. They look like baby fish tacos. In the coffee cup, Looked like something you get in an office, where you have the water dispenser has that pull down paper cup. $15. What do you say, $13.50? This is wild. Is this really where people are spending $700-800 in a weekend? Is on this stuff? I don't even understand why somebody would spend this much money on a meal in Disneyland. Like I'm kind of with the guy. Bring some snacks. And the idea that they have RFID codes or some stuff like that on the fountain drink, that seems very communist right there, man. So let's think about the next thing, though. So what about the people that don't use credit? How are they going to Disneyland? And I found this video. This one I had to dig for a little bit because apparently everybody uses credit cards, but this guy didn't. But look at the extremes that he went to, and after all this time, what he did.
2 years of savings goal, £3,050 for Disney World Park tickets. Did we make it?
All right, so you saw that big Coca-Cola bottle. I had this growing up too. The fact that they saved up for 2 years to get €3,200 to just blow it on Disneyland is crazy. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. One, they saved their money. Two, they didn't put on a credit card avoiding interest. But three is where the problem is. Don't these coin counting machines cost like 20 or 30%? So that sounds kind of crazy that they had that much. I don't know what the fee is in these. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe it was on that receipt and I didn't see it. But that sounds like that's extremely an expensive thing to do. But again, at least he didn't use a credit card. But I do want to read real quick a couple of the comments because I found them kind of interesting and it kind of unlocks a little more about the cost here. So $3,000 odd. How many people are you needing tickets for? And that was just for 2 people. Yes. And the theme park tickets are expensive. I was at €2,500. I mean, €500 for 14 days at a price of $7 is amazing. I'm going to Disneyland, California for 2 days and it's costing me €380. So perspective is fantastic offer from Disney World, Emma. Now I will say, like, I would like more content on that. Are these just the tickets? Because remember, we saw the first video, the airline tickets they had to pay for. They're talking about euros. These aren't Americans, right? So they got to fly internationally. They might need to go through a visa process. There's probably going to be a cost, right? They're going to have to get hotels. They're not from Anaheim, right? So this $380 just covers the tickets. And I think that's really where a lot of these like theme parks, I know Six Flags, I used to go there when I lived in Coronado, is the tickets were always cheap. It was everything else in the park that got you. We just saw it. $15 for pancakes? $5 for scrambled eggs? Huh. And then getting to this last comment, $5,000 for 4 days. That's ridiculous. And that brings this idea that I was thinking about while I was looking for some of these videos is how much would it cost, just hypothetically, if I was to move to Disneyland or Disney World? Like, what would it actually cost per year? Just to kind of give us an idea of what we're paying per day, right? So I found a little video where a guy broke down the cost of living of actually living in the Grand Floridian Resort. And I believe this is in Disney World in Florida. I could be wrong though. Let me know in the comments below. But the numbers are just insane. Let me show you.
All love Walt Disney World, but did you ever wonder how much it would actually cost to live there? This is how much money you would need to have to live at the Grand Floridian for an entire year. On average throughout the whole year, a standard room at the Grand Floridian is about $800 a night. Assuming you're actually going to eat there too, we can factor in about $150 to $200 a day for food. And if we're being honest, that may not even be 3 meals. Add in an annual pass so you can actually use that monorail system to go to the parks. Add in a couple other little things like tipping, mousekeeping, laundry, across the entire year to live at the Grand Floridian in a standard room is going to run you somewhere between $350,000 and $400,000. So to compare, here in Texas, you could buy a home in cash. You could also buy a medium-sized yacht. So what do you guys think? Are you going to take the home? Or are you going to live at Disney in luxury for a year?
Cover, how much are you spending at Disney today?
I'll spend probably like $300.
How much are you spending today?
$98.62.
Beth, how much are you spending today?
Under 100.
SJ, how much are you spending?
$72.72.
How much are you spending?
$0. Lexi, how much are you spending at Disney today?
$50.
I thought this was kind of a funny one to look at just because they went around interviewing how much you going to spend today, and then they gave you the final cost. And everybody doubled what they said, except one person that was actually a little lower than what they said. But the point case being, I'm going to spend $50, $72, $80, and then they walk out spending $200. One girl said $0, and she spent $155. It's crazy how easy. Again, the tickets aren't that bad, and that's hard to say because, again, $5,000 for 4 tickets to Disney World is what somebody said on a video before. But the point being, if the tickets are that much, what's inside of that door, that Disney door, is going to be way more expensive than the overall. This is wild how much people spend on Disneyland. And it makes sense why we're starting to see so many advertisements on renewable discounts on a lot of these programs. I think people are going homeless to go to Disney World. And again, we still haven't seen any little children, 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds. Because that's who you would expect to go to Disneyland, right? Children, not grown adults.
Why did you not tell him about the Disney card?
Well, the Disney card, yeah, I mean, I told him after.
Why did you not tell him before you opened?
Because she wanted the credit and she wanted to do the vacation. I was opposed to the vacation at first, and I guess she was. I think she was scared of potentially me saying no or being highly upset.
I tried to convince him for years for us to try to see if we could take a vacation that's for a night away for a couple of days with the kids.
Why did you open this without telling him? What's the why?
Because I wanted to do it. And
but why
he was going to tell me no.
There it is.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, your lack of communication and not being able to even answer the whys until we finally got to that. He just didn't want me to do it, so that's why I did it without asking. Look at how you guys are operating. This is not great for the future. Anytime you guys want to do something, but you know the other person would be slightly against it, maybe. Then you just do it instead, but behind their back? Again, I mean, this is at literally $4,368.24. That is substantial. That is disgusting, especially if we're talking about cutting back work. Both of you cutting back work? Minimum monthly payment's $145, while $101 of interest accrued. How long does this take to pay off if we make minimum monthly payments only without purchasing? So look how, this is at a 27.24% interest rate of death.
The ring that we went to get the wedding band for it, the one that I had a lot of curves, and they had discontinued the line 2 years later.
Yeah, so then we had to replace that one to get the new ring with the wedding band.
Why are we buying watches for people when you can't afford to survive and you're not even making minimum payments on time? Because you have horrible debt minimum payments to pay on. So really, you're just working in order to work more. That's what you're doing when you go spend all the bullshit.
You guys are working to just work more because you keep spending. You're spending to work. This is a big part of it, man. When these guys are using these credit cards, especially for things like Disneyland and Disney World, you're creating these debts that will never let you go. People want to retire early. People want to take longer vacations. People want to live better, happier lives. It's very hard to do that when your biggest enemy, your biggest wall is something called interest rate. And when you have a balance of $3,000 or $4,000, that interest rate, there's no way, right? Like, I live out here in Asia. I get to meet a lot of foreigners that retire and they come out here and they retire at their older age of 65 or whatever it is. And a lot of them are still struggling with credit card bills they have to pay every month that are 10 to 15 years old. Why? You're paying for a pair of socks that you bought at Walmart back in 2003. That doesn't make sense. And the fact that they can't communicate this, you got your wife running around opening up random credit cards, and the husband's probably the one that's going to have to work more and pay it off because she says she's cutting her work back. This is a crazy, crazy thing, dude. I would actually be furious with her. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below. What would you do if your significant other was behind your back, opening up credit cards at 30% interest rates damn near, maxing them out almost, and then telling you, oh, honey, I'm going to take some time off. I'm tired.
Here's how much I spent in a day at Disneyland. My ticket was only $70 because of the locals discount. Then I started the morning off strong with a black cap cold brew for $8. I got a personalized hat for my baby for $27, and then we had to do a silhouette for his first visit, which was $34. I got the Sweet Heat beignet chicken sandwich for $15, and of course I had to go right next door and get beignets, so I got 6 for $10. Then I got 2 soups and cookies for $37. Ratatouille soup was fire. Cozy cone mac and cheese and a drink for $33. Disney balloon for the baby was $20, and I finished finished off the night with a birria grilled cheese and Jolly Holiday combo for $32. This made my grand total for the day $287.
Why is she spending $35 on lunch and then 4 hours later eating again? Why does the balloon cost $20? And why does that cheap made in China Mickey Mouse hat where they just like stamp some thread onto it saying a baby's name gotta cost like $30? What is going on? I'm starting to think the biggest scandal in Disneyland is the food. $32. Did you see the little snacks? I'll put it on the screen here for you. Those look like little donuts. $15, $60. They look as small as a finger. I'm in the wrong business, man. It seems like Disneyland's biggest moneymaker has to be those damn concession stands. There's no way that they're getting this rich off $140 entry fee tickets.
A typical 6 to 7 day Disney World vacation for a family of 4 in 2026 generally costs between $4,000 and $8,000. How many times you go to the park though?
I think it's like all 4. I think it's all 4.
Oh, do they have like packages basically?
Yeah, they have packages, yeah. But those like probably numbers are probably people that are staying on the resort.
Yeah.
Right, the Disney resort. Plus probably getting like a meal plan. Plus the park tickets.
I spent the day at Disneyland and California Adventure without regard to the budget. So here's how much money I spent, starting with tickets and parking. First thing I spent money on was breakfast at Ronto Roasters. We got 2 wraps, 2 drinks. This is how much it cost. Next up, I got popcorn. I love Disney popcorn usually. The critics say it's not worth the money, and I fear today they were correct. This was not good. Luckily, there were some Disney ducks around, and I didn't have to pay any money to watch them waddle. My husband's Disney snack of choice is the Mickey pretzel, so we got it from Coke's Corner since the line was super long everywhere else. Then we made our way over to California Adventure, where I spent money on something that I wish I would have known to bring into the parks, but I didn't think I'd want it, and that's this fruit. The Lunar New Year Festival was going on, and there were a lot of like food carts, but they all had the most ridiculous lines I've ever seen in my life, so instead we opted for this one, which didn't have any lines. We got 4 macaroons. I got a teriyaki bowl for lunch, and usually it's my favorite, but today it was mid. The first time my husband had a churro was 6 years ago, and he hated them, but he has since changed his mind. My only non-food purchase of the day was this art print of Baymax. Here's the description on the back. Love it, love it, love it. And that's it. Here's our total spent for the day.
How long would it take you to make $385 after tax? She did that in a day. That wasn't even the ticket. $45 for lunch for her and her boyfriend or her husband. It's $50 for a photo. And those Chinese, like the donuts or dips, whatever they were, they're like that big. They sell them out here. They're so small. It's just a ball of sugar. Why are they $15? And why is it $9 for 3 small oranges? None of this is making sense, guys. I think I have cracked the code for Disneyland. The food is where it is at. I thought we were going to start this video and get through and just talk about how crazy the ticket prices were and how everyone puts it on credit cards. I'm starting to realize it's not the credit cards that are the problem. It's not the entry tickets. It's the food. The food. But before we get out of here, let's just look at one more video. This is a family going to Disneyland. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a food problem again. Did that really just say $22 for a bottle of water? I don't even know what to say anymore. Pizza, $19, $8 a slice or some stuff like that. The food is out of control. A big cotton candy was $20. I feel like I'm having a panic attack right now. And it's over the food. I thought today it was going to be about the ticket prices and the stupid people putting money on credit cards with stupid interest rates. Nope. Today is lesson learned. Don't eat food at Disneyland. Bring snacks. Let me know what you guys think below on your experiences, what you've spent at Disneyland, Disney World, whatever country that you've visited, and how much of that cost was your food. Till then, guys, I'll see you in the next video.